Ever find yourself, scrolling through those online home value estimators,
Oh, yeah.
and you're left wondering, are these things even remotely accurate? Or
Hmm.
are they basically just like throwing darts at a board blindfolded?
Right.
Today, we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into what actually determines a property's worth.
Okay, love it.
And we're not just talking about any property in any city.
No.
We're going hyper-local today, zooming in on McHenry, Illinois real estate.
Gotta love a good local market deep dive.
Right, you with me.
I'm here for it.
So, to help us navigate this maze,
Mm-hmm.
we've got the best possible guide,
Okay.
Michael Linton. He doesn't just know McHenry.
No.
This is someone who's been practically swimming in its real estate scene for, get this, 38 years.
Ah.
38 years. That's not just experience, that's practically a PhD in McHenry real estate.
That's like he's seen it all.
Exactly. He's seen market ups, he's seen the downs, he's seen every trend come and go.
And probably remembers when some of those trends were brand new the first time around.
Probably predicted them, you know what I mean?
Right.
When it comes to understanding what makes a McHenry property tick, he's the guy.
Yeah, it's one thing to, like, read a market report, get the data,
Sure.
but having that kind of firsthand in the trenches experience, that's invaluable.
Absolutely. We're talking about someone who's walked every street, probably been inside most of these houses,
Right.
from those charming bungalows all nestled along the Fox River
Oh, they're lovely.
to those, those grand stately homes over in the historic district. This is a guy who understands the pulse, the heartbeat of this market.
That's what you want, you know?
Absolutely.
Whether you're a homeowner now, maybe thinking about selling, or you're a future buyer, you're dreaming of McHenry.
Yeah. Or even if you're just nosy about how this whole thing works.
I get it. Real estate is fascinating.
It is. But understanding these deeper market mechanics,
Yeah,
that's where you, as the homeowner, as the buyer, that's where you gain a real advantage.
absolutely. Knowledge is power.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got to talk about this thing called a CMA.
Okay.
It sounds very official.
Sure, a little bit.
Very important, like we should already know what it is.
Right.
Is this just like real estate jargon to make people feel lost? Or
It's kind of catchy, right?
it is catchy, but
Yeah.
there's something more to it.
Oh, there absolutely is.
Yeah.
It stands for Comparative Market Analysis.
Okay, see, now I feel smarter already.
Right.
Just knowing what the letters stand for.
Exactly.
But I still feel like I need that real estate license to actually decipher it.
It might sound like that, but it's really pretty straightforward.
Okay,
Once you kind of understand the basics, it all clicks.
so demystify it for us.
Okay.
What's the big idea behind Michael's approach to a CMA when he's putting one of these together?
All right, so picture this, right?
Okay.
You've got Michael, he's working his magic,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of like a detective's board, with the red string and the photos,
Right.
he's got this super detailed breakdown of recent McHenry home sales.
Got it.
And it's like each property, each sale, it's telling a story. He's looking at how big are these houses? How old are they? Even something as specific as, are they close to the Fox River or not?
So he's basically trying to find properties that are similar, that are comparable to the one he's actually analyzing,
Exactly.
trying to find those real-world benchmarks.
You got it. Each recent sale, it's like a data point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it helps him paint this picture of what are buyers actually willing to pay for similar properties right here in McHenry.
Okay.
But he doesn't just stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. This is where it gets good.
Okay.
Michael's also taking a close look at current listings. What's on the market right now?
So he's getting a read on the competition, basically, right?
Yeah.
Seeing what else is out there vying for those buyers' attention.
Yep, got to keep an eye on the competition. Analyzing what's actively for sale in McHenry right now, it gives you that crucial context.
Right.
It tells you how much demand is there, what are buyers looking for these days,
Mm-hmm.
how are they priced, are they going fast, all of that.
It paints a picture of the market right now.
Exactly, it's a snapshot in time. But here's the real kicker. Michael also factors in expired listings.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. Expired listings, you mean the ones that didn't sell?
The ones that didn't sell, the ones that, maybe didn't quite make it.
I never even thought about those as being useful, honestly.
Oh, they're gold mines of information.
Really?
Absolutely. They're like these hidden gems.
What kind of information can you get from a house that didn't sell?
They can tell you a lot about pricing strategies that maybe didn't quite resonate with the market. Maybe a property was just overpriced, it happens.
Right.
Or maybe it had some unique features, but buyers just weren't biting.
Interesting.
So it's not just about what works, right?
It's about knowing what doesn't work.
Exactly.
Right.
And that can be just as valuable, maybe even more so sometimes.
I can see that. Now, we keep saying McHenry, 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 because it's important to remember we're not just talking about housing markets in some abstract way.
Right.
We're talking about a very specific place.
It's all about McHenry today.
And McHenry has its own personality, its own unique factors that influence those property values.
Absolutely. Things like, what are the schools like? Are there any big revitalization projects going on?
Right, that's huge.
How close are you to the lake? Things like that. Those McHenry-specific trends, they can really impact those numbers, sometimes more than people realize.
So you could have two properties, they look the same on paper, same number of bedrooms, same square footage, but
Well, one might be worth significantly more.
because of where it is in McHenry.
Exactly. Like a beautifully restored Victorian in the historic district that's going to have a different value than a brand new condo downtown, even if they're technically similar in size.
That's like each little neighborhood has its own micro market within the bigger McHenry market.
You got it. It's like those Russian nesting dolls, markets within markets.
I love that analogy.
Okay.
So we've got these broader trends, but then of course there are those hyper-specific details, the things that make each house unique.
Oh, of course.
A finished basement versus an unfinished one, a brand new kitchen, a pool, things like that.
Those are the things that, really add that extra flavor.
Right. And these features, they add value. And I'm guessing Michael knows how to put an actual dollar figure on those.
Oh, he's got it down to a science.
You've seen it all.
He has.
Okay, so we've got this treasure trove of information now, right? We've got recent sales, we've got the current listings, we've got those expired listings. Kind of surprising how much you can learn from those.
Right. They're full of secrets.
Totally. But now I'm wondering, how does Michael Linton actually use all of this data
Yeah, good question.
to help someone who's actually buying or selling in McHenry?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get practical here.
Okay.
So say I'm picturing that for sale sign, the
Right.
one on my front lawn.
Yeah.
And I'm picturing all those eager buyers, lining up.
Right.
How does all this CMA magic actually translate into a strategy, a winning strategy for me as a seller?
It all boils down to pinpointing that sweet spot, the listing price. That's not just going to attract buyers, but it's going to be attractive to buyers while still reflecting what your house is actually worth.
Because getting that initial price right, I mean, that's got to be half the battle, right?
Oh, it can make or break you, honestly.
Right.
Price it too high, buyers are going to scroll right past,
Yeah, nobody wants to overpay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But price it too low and you're just leaving money on the table. And who wants to do that?
Nobody. So how does Michael find that sweet spot?
Well, he takes all that data we talked about, right? Those comparable properties, the market trends, even those unique features your house has.
Right, right.
And he puts it all together to come up with a listing price that's strategic, but it's also realistic.
And it's like having that secret weapon, when you're going into those negotiations.
That definitely gives you an edge.
Speaking of negotiations, what happens when those offers actually start rolling in?
Oh, it can get intense.
Right.
Especially in a market like McHenry, things can move fast.
You snooze, you lose, right?
Pretty much. But that's where that CMA becomes your guide, your compass.
So it's not just about setting the initial price. It's about knowing how to navigate those choppy waters once the offers start coming in.
Exactly. You've got to be prepared.
So you're not just reacting emotionally.
Right, because it can be emotional.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you've got that CMA in your back pocket, you're able to look at everything objectively.
You're making decisions based on actual data, not just your hopes and dreams.
Exactly. You're informed, you're empowered. Now let's flip the script for a second. Instead of being the seller, let's say we're the ones buying a house.
Ooh, fun. Can I pick the house?
Go for it.
Okay, I'm picturing a charming Victorian,
Classic.
close to the Riverwalk in McHenry.
I love those.
They're beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the buyer now. How does this knowledge, this CMA knowledge, how does that help me?
It gives you the same kind of market understanding that the seller has,
Okay.
You're not just walking in blind.
So no more just going with my gut, hoping for the best.
No more gut feelings. You've got data on your side now. You know what comparable homes have sold for. You know what's on the market. You know what a fair offer looks like.
It's about leveling the playing field.
Exactly. And that's huge, especially if you're in a competitive market like McHenry.
Okay, so We've talked about buying, we've talked about selling, but what about those people who are thinking of McHenry as more of an investment?
Right. Good point.
How does all of this, how does Michael's approach to the CMA, how does it apply to them?
Oh, it's incredibly valuable for investors. See, Michael, he doesn't just see the market as it is right now.
Right.
He's got this sixth sense almost for what's coming down the pipeline, those future trends.
So he can use that knowledge to help investors make smart choices.
Exactly. He can identify those areas, those neighborhoods
Hmm.
that are, poised for growth.
Where those property values are going to skyrocket.
Exactly. So it's about making those strategic decisions, whether you're looking for a place to live or you're looking for a smart investment.
Right. Long-term vision.
Exactly. Okay, I want to circle back to something for a minute. We talked about those McHenry quirks, right?
We get,
Things that make this market unique.
yeah, like those top-rated schools.
Yes, people always underestimate how much schools affect property values.
Right, because good schools, they equal like a family-friendly environment.
Exactly. And families are willing to pay a premium for that peace of mind.
So those homes near the good schools, they're probably worth more.
Oh, absolutely. They command a premium for sure.
And Michael can actually quantify that, right? Like put a dollar figure on how much those good schools are worth.
Oh, yeah. He's got it down to a science.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's all about the data, right?
Data is king.
It is. Okay, I have another McHenry quirk for you.
Hit me.
Those gorgeous waterfront properties right on the Fox River,
Oh, they're beautiful.
they're idyllic. But, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, flood zones.
Right, gotta keep it real.
Being close to the water is a dream, but you got to be aware of those risks.
Absolutely. So how does Michael factor that in?
Well, he knows those flood zones like the back of his hand.
Right.
He understands how they impact values. He knows which areas are more prone to flooding than others.
So he can give people a realistic picture.
Exactly. No sugarcoating, just the facts.
So they can make those informed decisions.
Yep. That's the power of having that local expert in your corner, someone who's not just crunching numbers, but they really understand the nuances of the market.
They've seen it all. They know the history, the trends, everything.
And they're not afraid to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right. Honesty is key.
Absolutely. If we had to boil all of this down to one big takeaway, it's this. Knowledge is power, especially in real estate.
100%. And I think a lot of people, they get caught up in those online home value estimators,
Oh, yeah, those things are everywhere.
And they think, oh, I'll just go online, get my number, I'm done. But they're missing out on that nuance, that depth that a real CMA provides.
Those online tools, they can be a good starting point, get a general idea.
And they're fun.
But they don't replace that human expertise, that deep knowledge of the market that someone like Michael has.
Because Michael, he's not just looking at numbers on a screen. He's looking at the stories behind those numbers.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what makes all the difference.
So, folks, the next time you find yourself, dipping your toes into the McHenry real estate waters, whether you're buying, you're selling, or you're just kind of testing the waters, remember what we talked about today.
Do your research.
Talk to the experts, and don't be afraid to dive deep.
Because when it comes to real estate, knowledge is your most valuable asset.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This was great. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.